Hey, SNA Assassinators. I think I've reached my limit, but I promise you I'm going to do a couple more wrestling news reports, and I'm going to let you guys go on for today's wrestling news video. I'm going to do plenty of wrestling, maybe because I have some spare time, and I decided to do some extras that's on this list. One way I would have cut this video short if I had other things to do immediately. But we're going to continue talking about this Braun Breaker story. But the former NXT champion credited the amateur wrestling history for helping him in his transformation of pro wrestling, saying, I have a great sense of body control and that sort of thing. And I think that's in amateur wrestlers' sort of advantage. Pro wrestling is tough, though it's tough, on your body. Football is physical in a different way. Braun Breaker recently came up short, in the attempt to winning in the main roster intercontinental title when he to Sami Zayn for the Sami Zayn at the Money in the Bank Premium Live event this month, and it's and they said that the schedule to get into is going to be in a it's going to be in a rematch at the next month's pay-per-view at the biggest party of the summer, which is SummerSlam, of course. And do you think he's going to win this match? And do you think his luck's going to be more better? It's going to be like a finishing move. If it doesn't work on the first attempt, it's going to be guaranteed the second attempt, which I guess that could be the case here. Braun Breaker could stay on target and keep his eye on the ball and don't get caught off guard. I'm pretty sure it could be the next IC champion. But yeah, what is your thoughts on Braun Breaker of him explaining the differences and the similarities of NFL and WWE? Let me know in the comment section right down below. And did he ever play for the Baltimore Ravens? I don't remember him playing for them. Maybe I haven't really paid attention much. The only players that I only remember in 2020 that was in the Baltimore Ravens is obviously, what's his name? Lamar Jackson, the quarterback. But that's another story for another day. We're going to move on to the next slide. Let's talk about We're going to talk about some more AEW news now as the star breaks silence following surprise return. After their surprise return on AEW Collision, former AEW World Tag Team Champion Dax Harwood and Dax Harwood of the FTR finally broke his silence since on the July 13th edition of AEW Collision, the former AEW Tag Team Champion of FTR made their surprising return to the company. For the first time since June, Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler made the save to Dynamite Kid Tommy Billington after the WWE Legend's nephew turned down the offer of joining the Don Callis family and was jumped by Konosuke Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher following their comeback. Dax Harwood took to social media to comment on his surprise return. He wrote, "We're back," and again, just a clear message. Harwood suffered a severe hematoma, which it seemed like it wasn't so major, but I'm gonna get to that in just a moment. On his lower back, that forced him out of action, for the past month, which you can read about, from the other article, which I believe I already just did that, which was back a month ago when the last time I did when I talked about any wrestling news about FTR on specifically this Wrestle Talk article. But it remains to be seen when the FTR will make their in-ring return following this injury for this injury, like Hardwood, like at the time, like of this writing, like following FTR's save of Tommy Billington, like uh, uh, the nephew of the legendary original Dynamite Kid, had a message with Don Callis of him rejecting the Don Callis family, and he's coming for them in the foreseeable future, which we talked about on the earlier video. But yeah, they made their surprise return, and I did not expect them to make this return until I heard about this when I heard the spoilers of last night's pre-taped AEW Collision show. Like, we're gonna see the returning what's their names of the former AEW Tag Team Champions. Once after we got Tommy Billington to turn down Don Callis of his offer of being in the Don Callis family, and then this is where they jumped him, but FTR came in for the save, and then this is where they made it known that they're returning. They're going to start a program with the heel faction, and it looks like it's probably going to start next Saturday on Collision, if not earlier on when AEW celebrates its 250th episode of the Wednesday Night Dynamite show. But we're gonna have to think about like when exactly they're gonna be. Well, exactly, they're going to start. They're going to start making their in-ring return. When they're going to start with their in-ring return of wrestling in the tag match, which I'm assuming could possibly be next week on AEW Saturday Night Collision. But we're just going to have to tune in and see what's if that's going to be so, or do you think it's going to be, or do you think that FTR is going to wait until they wrestle at Blood and Guts? Then they're going to continue their feud. I mean, then they're going to do their feud with the Don Callis thing, yeah. Which I think that they're going to team with Swerve Strickland and Mark Briscoe and the mystery partner of their choosing. Like, if not the Acclaim, if it's not going to be the Acclaim, which they kind of teased that they want a shot at the Bucks, which we could see at least Max Caster and Anthony Bowens, if not with Daddy Ass, what's his name, Billy Gunn, like to join them. Like, we could see them facing them then, even though they had some differences with Swerve Strickland, but changed. They're totally different guys now. Like, and they're worrying about beating the Elite's ass and doing this all for the supremacy of AEW. But that's another story for another day. But do you think it's going to be FTR or the Acclaim that's going to be a part of Team the AEW against Team Elite, like teaming with Mark Briscoe and Swerve Strickland, the current Ring of Honor World Champion and AEW World Champion? But let's end today's wrestling news video with some Tiffany Stratton news. It's Tiffy time, I should say. I'm afraid that. Like on her attempts of a Money in the Bank cash-in moment at the July 13th WWE live event in Mexico City, SmackDown star Tiffany Stratton has attempted to her cash-in or Money in the Bank contract, like at WWE. At the event, like Tiffany Stratton defeated Chelsea Green, the Chelsea Green, Io Sky, Zoe Stark, Lyra Valkyria, and Naomi to win the Money in the Bank contract at the premium live event of Money in the Bank. And after joining Nia Jax in a beatdown on Bayley, like Stratton looked like she was on the verge of cashing in on the current WWE Women's Champion on the July 12th edition of Friday Night SmackDown. However, Jax seemingly stopped Tiffany from doing so to preserve her SummerSlam bout with the role model for the WWE Women's title. At the July 13th WWE live event in Mexico City, Tiffany Stratton attempted to cash it in their Money in the Bank contract. However, it was Bianca Belair who prevented her from cashing in this time around. there was a belief, like a stare down. It was I believe a brief stare down without the L in the extra E, of course. It was a brief stare down between Bailey and Bianca Belair, like following Stratton bailing from the scenes as well. Like you can watch what happened like in the Mexico City house show like last night right here down below, but you can see it. I'm gonna pull it up right here on the post of Wrestle Talk, uh, uh, recording this clip and yeah, and posting it on their X account, which you can also on here on the website of Wrestle Talk. And not only it was like they were teasing the cash in, but they also teasing some kind of a future potential feud because it seemed like that Bailey was defending her WWE Women's Championship against the EST and longtime rival Bianca Belair. Like I guess to get some kind of like teasing a future feud, and secondly getting some revenge from the time when she was fighting her for that said championship when it was known as the Raw Women's Champion at the time, of course, though. And what is your thoughts on to that with that stare down with Bianca Belair? Even though she kind of helped out Bailey from getting cashed in by Tiffany, but it seemed like they're teasing a future potential heel turn of the EST. Like it seems like, and they're trying to go back, like making her like the female Drew McIntyre of the WWE's women's division, like how like he is with the likes of Jey Uso and CM Punk. Most likely CM Punk, like say he's not gonna forgive what CM Punk did to him a decade ago, not really being much of a mentor or a role model to him, rather much of the opposite, and leave him in the dust. And then and once he left WWE, he also got released, and yeah, he had to build himself right back up into on the top and on the mountain of the most prestigious wrestling mountain, I guess you could say metaphorically. I go into the Indies, like whether if it's in America or in Europe, like in England, Scotland, or Ireland. And then TNA, where he also became world champion there. And then he made his way back to WWE back in 2017 on NXT. He won the NXT